announcer pending. Lord Handel, Rusty Dictionary, has delivered documents.
Lord and gentlemen. My lords and gentlemen, pray silence for our host, Colonel Gouraud. My lords and gentlemen, I confess to some embarrassment upon this occasion, speaking as I do for the first time in public and in the presence of so distinguished a company. I feel greatly honored by your presence here tonight. A company distinctly representative in its character. Her Majesty's Postmaster General, Mr. Cecil Rakes, is here to speak not only for politics in its highest sense, but for that great department over which he so worthily presides, and to whose administrative ability we confidently look for the means of sending innocent phonograms from point to point throughout the world without their being opened or root, or being otherwise tampered with by over-inquisitive officials. There is in the association with the name of the Postmaster General, the name of Mr. Edmund Yates, a peculiar fitness, he having served with distinction for no less than a quarter of a century in the same important department of the public service. In welcoming Mr. Yates at Little Menlo, my English home, for the first time, I feel that I am meeting an old friend, for it was my pleasure and my honor to be one of that vast army of Americans who welcomed him in America now some 20 years ago. Nobody can better answer than Mr. Yates for literature. And who better could answer for music than that distinguished composer, Sir Arthur Sullivan, and to whom the phonograph takes this earliest opportunity of expressing its delight at the great success achieved but a few nights since by that distinguished composer's latest production, The Yeoman of the Guard. Mr. J.C. Parkinson's interest of many years since and his identification with the Atlantic cable make a fit beginning to so appropriate and interesting an end so far as we have gone, as is presented by this latest achievement in connection.
Silence, gentlemen! Silence, if you please! Mr. Edmund Yates!
My lords and gentlemen, being myself a complete failure as an after-dinner speaker, I, better than anyone else, can appreciate the treat which you are about to enjoy in listening to the eloquence of one of England's most famous after-dinner speakers, Mr. Edmund Yates, upon whom the phonograph now calls to speak in response to the toast to literature, which I now ask you to drink.
Gentlemen, the toast is literature, coupled with the name of Mr. Edmund Yates. Charge your glasses, gentlemen. Bumpers, if you please. Mr. Edmund Yates! Edmund Yates! 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 Your very good health! Your very good health! Open
and with what name could be more appropriately coupled that ghost than with the name of Sir Arthur Sullivan? As a lover of music myself, and with a room dedicated to the muse, I may be permitted to say, and on this occasion it is my peculiar happiness to say, that at Little Menlo, where we hear much music, there is no music we hear so often, or with more pleasure, than that which comes from him.
Gentlemen, charge your glasses, if you please. The toast is music, coupled with the name of Sir Arthur Sullivan, Doctor of Laws. Sir Arthur Sullivan! Sir Arthur Sullivan!
Oh, very good health, Sir Arthur.
Sullivan, your health! Your health!
Little Menlo, October the 5th, 1888. Phonogram, Gouraud to Edison. Dear Edison, I propose to conclude a most interesting and agreeable evening, so far as I am concerned, by introducing to you the few friends who have honored me this evening by their presence here. Each of them has expressed a desire to say a few words to you, and I am sure you will be glad to hear their voices, as I am glad to be the medium of communicating them to you. Need I say, through your marvelous phonograph. First, the Right Honourable Cecil Raikes, Her Majesty's Postmaster General. Now listen to Mr. Raikes' voice.
We thank you for a most interesting and delightful evening. We feel that you are to become inventor of a new magic. We regard this invention as destined almost to revolutionize the means of human communication. And we wish you all success in promoting a discovery which cannot fail to have the most beneficent results for the whole community of nations. Cecil Raikes, Her Majesty's Postmaster General.
I next have the pleasure of introducing to you a name that is as familiar to you and all of our countrymen as it is, I am happy to say, to myself and my family. Mr. Edmund Yates.
This is the record of a most marvelous dinner, transmitted to you by your most marvelous invention. If I lack words to describe the dinner, it is because I am so enwrapped and so enchanted by your invention that I find myself much more stupid than I ought to be after the grand excitement of our friends' meats and wines. Edmund Yates, not Her Majesty's Postmaster General, but one who was a poor clerk under Her Majesty's Postmaster General for 25 years.
We will now pass on to the next phonogram, which will begin with a record that I am sure you will receive with infinite delight. Knowing your love for music, I need only say that the record will be the voice of the great composer, Sir Arthur Sullivan, whose music is as well known in America as it is in England, and as well loved by those who know it.
Little Menlo, October 5th, 1888, from Gouraud to Edison. Continuation of introduction of friends. Now listen to the voice of Sir Arthur Sullivan. Dear Mr. Edison, if my friend Edmund Yates has been a little incoherent, it is in consequence of the excellent dinner, good wine he has drunk. Therefore, I beg you will excuse him. He has his lucid intervals. For myself, I can only say that I am astonished and somewhat terrified at the result of this evening's experiment. Astonished at the
wonderful power you have developed, and terrified at the thought that so much hideous, bad music may be put on record forever. But all the same, I think it is the most wonderful thing that I have ever experienced, and I congratulate you with all my heart on this wonderful discovery. Arthur Sullivan. My next introduction is Mr. Broadley, well-known English barrister, whose name will always be remembered by his distinguished defense of Arabi Pasha. Now listen to his voice.
It would be difficult for me to convey to Mr. Edison. Dear Mr. Edison, it would be very difficult for me to convey to you any idea of the impression which your invention has caused tonight upon the guests who assembled round the hospitable table of Colonel Gouraud. The mysteries of the East and the mysteries of Egypt pale before an invention which is doubtless destined to effect a revolution in the means of communication throughout the civilized world. I trust that one of the first outcomes of the dinner today will be a safer transmission of your phonographic records to their destination. As I am speaking to you, the Postmaster General is holding a serious consultation with Colonel Gouraud upon the subject of the transmission of these records. There is one other subject to which I think the phonograph may be very judiciously applied, and that is as a substitute for the great plethora of after-dinner speaking from which we to some extent suffer in this country. I have had the privilege tonight of officiating as phonographic toastmaster, and when this instrument is introduced for that purpose, I shall claim to be the ancestor of a long line of toastmasters who, instead of discharging their functions in the present manner, have recourse to the phonograph for the expeditious fulfillment of those duties which in this country we are sufficiently familiar. I can only express my great thanks to Colonel Gouraud for giving us the opportunity of witnessing your invention, and express an earnest hope that in the near future we may have again an opportunity of witnessing some further experiments with the phonograph. A. M. Broadley, barrister at law. Our next guest, to whom I will present to you, is Mr. J.C. Parkinson, whose name you will remember as an old telegraphist yourself, as having an early identification with that most important phase of telegraphy, which now goes by the common name of Atlantic cables. Mr. Parkinson will now speak. It is a great privilege to have taken part this evening in this most interesting celebration. You have heard from our friends previously how deeply we are interested.
Now, Mr. Blaine, as you've been nearly round the world, I'll take you round the world on the phonograph. I'll not charge you anything. I'll take you on the steamer, Canard steamer to Liverpool, and from Liverpool to London, from London on the London and Brighton Railroad to Brighton, and from Brighton we'll go on those little 2-cent steamers across the English Channel to Calais, and from Calais we'll go on the Chemin du Fer du Nord. I can't give you the exact Parisian pronunciation of this railroad, but I guess you'll understand. We'll get into Paris and make for the Grand Hotel. Then in the morning we'll go to our bankers and get a little money on our letters of credit. Then we'll go and stay around Paris for about 2 weeks, go to Berlin. After we've stayed about 2-3 days in Berlin and got the blues, we'll go to St. Petersburg. And St. Petersburg we'll go to Moscow.
and from Moscow back by the same route to Berlin. And from Berlin we'll go to Vienna, and from Vienna to Budapest to see the Hungarians. And then most people would go to Monte Carlo. But we'll not go to Monte Carlo, we'll go to Munich, or Munchen. I believe they call it Munchen, but that's not a very nice name to me. I like to call it Munich. Well, then from Munich we'll go to Milan. Milan we'll go to Rome. Rome we'll go across the Mediterranean Sea. I don't know, but what I'm a little out in my geography. We'll go to Alexandria. Alexandria through the Suez Canal to the Red Sea, into the Bay of Bengal, and then to Bombay. Bombay, we'll probably get the colony and stay in the hospital 2-3 months and have lots of fun. And then we'll go to Calcutta, Calcutta to Singapore on the Malay Archipelago, and then to Hong Kong, Hong Kong to Tokyo, Tokyo on the Pacific Mail Steamship Company to San Francisco, San Francisco to Ogden, Ogden to Laramie, Laramie to Cheyenne, Cheyenne to Omaha, Omaha to Chicago, Chicago to Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, Philadelphia, New York. Now, Mr. Blaine, why don't you say a few words on another cylinder so my young man can bring it over to the laboratory. I want to put it through a process and get several hundred duplicate cylinders so other people can hear what you say. Goodbye. Let us introduce to you the old level beam. Here, accept the assurance of my hearty thanks and cordial admiration. The phonograph very Lord Salem. Yours faithfully all the day. I will now introduce to you the Earl of Mason. Sir, this evening will be ever cherished by me as one of the most interesting of my life. I have to thank Mr. Knowles for introducing me to you. The invention which we are using is one which makes permanent the voices of those who are speaking to you. I trust that the friendship between the English-speaking races may ever be as permanent as we understand will be the voices which are uttered this evening. Yours very sincerely, Lee.
London, 18th December, 1888. To Edison, from Colonel Gouraud, introducing Mr. Edison. The phonograph salutation. The latest born of science and of American genius bends its knee of steel and bows its neck of iron in reverential homage before the veteran statesman of England. Mr. Edison, the phonograph salutes you, and through the medium of the phonograph, Mr. Edison greets you. Now, Edison, listen to a voice that has electrified its generation, the voice of William Ewart Glenn. Dear Mr. Edison, I am so proud to be listening to you, for not only the same way boldness, but the structure of the market, the one of the most remarkable pieces, which it has been my privilege to enjoy. The request that you have done me the honor to make, will it please
the record of my voice, one that I carefully supply you so far as lies in my power. So I lament to say that the voice which I can speak to you is only the remedy of an organ, the employment of which has been overstrained. Yet I offer to you as much as I possess, and so much as old age has left me, with the utmost satisfaction, as being at least a testament to the instruction and delight that I have received from your marvelous invention. As to the future consequences, it is impossible to anticipate them. All I see is that wonders upon wonders are opening before us. Your great country is leading the way in the important work of invention. Heartily do we wish it well, and to you, as one of its greatest celebrities, allow me to offer my hearty good wishes and earnest prayers that you may long live to witness its triumph in all that appertains to the well-being of mankind. William, yours best.
When I left America, I thought I knew how to talk English, I did. At any rate, I thought I knew how to talk American. I said, now over here, diving into the truck, rolling up his trousers and drying them up, and always carrying an umbrella, and having all these naughty art things on the minute all around, talking to me before the language. I said, I not only can't speak in the old native thoughts, but I can't talk the old native tongue. I brought the issues, don't you know, where I ought to keep them up, and I pick them up, don't you know, where I ought to drop them, and I can't find the R. The good American R's, don't you know, anymore. Then I want to say very, then I say worry. Worry nice, don't you know, and worry pretty. And then all about those finding issues, don't you know, there's Anthony, and there's Annie, and Harriet, and all those nice little things that have all got into this nice part, so you want to know, you know. So I said, boy, this is family thing, there was a fella down here the other day, he was a lawyer, he was. He was a bad legislator, he was. And he stood there looking at me, and therefore, as I saw, he just had a laugh, he said, yeah, down there, I tell you, you know, and possibly we so bad, he said it, everything, you know, everything, you know, everything there was. He said we so bad, he said it, everything on their food, and he didn't drop any issues, he didn't, but he said, no, Mr. Henderson, no, it's not Mr. Henderson, it's not truly, I am a born legislator, I was born a lord, and I know what to do, but I know what it is with all humbug. So when I read this picture, I saw him, I saw this Edison so grand in that table, doing the whole thing himself. Oh, the God, boom, ta-ta.
Little Menlo, December the 21st, 1880, Gouraud to Edison. Dear Edison, please receive the united good wishes of myself and my family to you and your family, with the best hopes for a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you all. Give my regards to all the boys in the laboratory and tell them I hope they're not going to sleep. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you all.